Eastern Region, Koforidua. Koforidua, also known as Kedua or Kof Town, is a city and the capital of Eastern Region in southern Ghana. Koforidua was founded in 1875 by migrants from Ashanti. It is also called New Durban. With the exception of heavy-duty industries, the city is home to so many industries. Currently, the city's population is 127,344 and is dominated by Akans. Koforidua. The Koforidua ecosystem has some policy support organizations, but its proximity to Accra makes it easier for the entrepreneurs to access services absent in their ecosystem. The ecosystem is one of the ecosystems in Ghana that is still growing and needs more government support to thrive. The ecosystem is one that has a potential in fish farming and can be developed into a fish hub in Ghana.
So with the new job in South, that's the lead policy organization in the Eastern region. That's precisely the Koforidua ecosystem. Key development partners identified there were the Solid Arida, World Bank, and GIC. And the ecosystem was identified to be having to receive some good support from the lead policy organizer, the assembly, through the provision of various stores for clients to be able to access and use them to operate their businesses. But then the lead finance or local finance organization from the public side was the MASLOC and NBSSI, which was encouraging. We also discovered that the key area that other people are also focusing on was the agricultural sector, and precisely fish cultivation. And so the Fisheries Commission has an office there. And one takeaway was the fact that the Fisheries Commission has been able to establish a center that is supposed to help train most of the stakeholders within the fishing industry so that they can add value to their product. So something like having a center where they are able to grow their own fingerlings at no cost, and also providing them with a space that is supposed to train women and other interested stakeholders in fishmongering, that's smoking fish. Disturbingly, the catfish industry or catfish farmers didn't have ready access to market for their produce, unlike tilapia. And this was one of the discoveries that we had from there. Generally, in the ecosystem, I would say that the ecosystem of Koforidua is still in a growing stage, as most of the policy organizations are still the key organization that people would have to go to for services. But then, if you look at service delivery, in terms of customer relations, some of the offices within that space had poor customer relations in terms of addressing the needs of their clients. In terms of business registration, the Koforidua ecosystem did not have a Registrar General's department where they could do their business registration, so they had to depend on either the Accra Registrar General's department office or the Kumasi Registrar General's department office. And the lead business support organizations within the ecosystem was the NBSSI, that's the National Board for Small Scale Industries, and the the Municipal Assembly, that's the New Job in South Municipal Assembly, which also provided business support services to the ecosystem. Also, the Ghana Standards Authority was a key regulatory organization that was available to provide support for various organizations within the ecosystem, ensure that standardizations are being met by various firms, and clients wouldn't have to go long distance of moving up to the Greater Accra region in order to access services of the Ghana Standards Authority, but then they do all the approval processes and also ensure the standards are being met.
The indigents of Koforidua are mostly interested in the patronage and use of local banks, and mostly rural banks and microfinances. The survey brought to light the fact that most of the startups and SMEs are mainly supported by microfinances and credit union corporations as compared to the international banks.
In the eastern sector of Ghana, we went to the eastern region, and Koforidua to be precise. Our engagements there, we were able to talk to one local bank, 3 rural banks, 4 microfinance institutions, 1 credit union. From our engagement with these institutions, we were able to identify that the requirements to access to credits or access to financial support from institutions, whereas they should have feasible business plans, they should have collateral in form of landed property or lien, they should have a good cash flow record or proper auditing reports of their businesses if they are already running businesses, and for startups their continuity plan should be great and all that. This is on comparison with the other regions. We noticed that it was on the same flow for the financial institutions. With the local investors, we didn't get the chance to speak to a lot of them, but from engaging with other people in the region, we noticed that those who come back to support people in the region, they are able to give support to the local startups through mentorship, through monitoring and evaluation of their businesses. Some of them give them there's some peculiar things a business will need, like financial auditing and other stuff like that. They give it to them for free instead of them going to pay it or outsource it. They do it for free for them. It's also a form of support, even though it's not financial or in form of funding or giving out credits. Those are the opportunities we noticed. In addition to the opportunities, people are willing to support, even though they not necessarily they being angel investors or rich individuals. Once they see a business is viable, they are ready to venture into it. They are ready to support with funding, with any kind of support needed by the startup. We talking about mentorship, talking about other financial literacy needed, or some important or peculiar financial areas or sectors, looking at auditing, looking at structuring of business plan, looking at the cash flow records, keeping of all such records. People are willing to support startups by giving out these things for free instead of they outsourcing and paying for it. It's also a form of support, even though it's not in the funding line. On that side, looking at recommendations, we look at more business ideas or more entrepreneurial ideas. They should be able to develop more ideas. They should be able to nurture more startups to be able to come out. This is going to help because they'll be able to produce their own stuff on the local level. They'll be able to run their own businesses, increase their local GDP rates, which will in turn increase the financial or grow their finances as a region. Also in the Eastern region, we notice that some of the supports or the kind of support that other people can give is in the form of they helping the startups go through the process of registering their businesses, because it's quite uneasy or a bit difficult in the region to register businesses. So they help them go through the process, giving them guidance on the requirements they are supposed to put together, how feasible or how they're supposed to structure their businesses to be able to get the registrar to register the business.
In Koforidua, one key promising market we noticed was the hospitality sector. The area has quite a number of lodges, tour centers, and hotels that accommodate natives who would want to hold conference meetings and have cool getaways.
In Koforidua, because of the geographical nature of the city, most small-scale businesses or industries were engaged in aqua farming, to be precise, catfishing. And in terms of the most promising digital markets, it will be in terms of the hospitality, because Koforidua houses a lot of profitable lodges and hotels and restaurants as well. And in terms of the digitalization of most businesses, quite a few of them were really inclined in terms of social media representation and websites as well. So some of the key challenges we also realized concerning the businesses was the outsourcing of markets, as well as the need for really high-skilled labor.
Creating more opportunities to expose the local entrepreneurs to other ecosystems in Koforidua is relevant. This would assist in boosting the entrepreneurial culture. Being a cosmopolitan city, identifying and celebrating existing local entrepreneurs with success stories would create a connection for the younger generations or startups.
To interest you to know that Koforidua being a a mini cosmopolitan city lacks support structures or formalized support entities there. Against this background, Koforidua is more home to human capital development. So there are a lot of schools against organizations that would create support structures to help businesses and startups to grow. So I'll say that with Koforidua, we didn't get much to do there because of these challenges. So I recommend that relevant stakeholders should take advantage to create such opportunities for emerging businesses in Koforidua. And also, I'll say that a lot of entrepreneurial programs and initiatives should be run to incite the interest for entrepreneurship and in view to create more jobs to lessen unemployment rates in Koforidua. So we spoke with 3 NGOs, one business advisory institution, then one formalized business institution.
In Koforidua, we had an extensive discussion with one of the senior high schools, which was extremely interested in setting up an innovation hub to help their students work on startup ideas even before completing schooling.
So Koforidua, Eastern Region, we were able to visit 6 second cycle institutions and then one successful entrepreneur who made us aware of the fact that it's not that easy for the youth to get funding for their really brilliant business ideas. And then you also realize that they had to fine-tune their products and services they want to offer so as to meet a minimum level that will be attractive to potential clients within the region. So they will need a lot more mentorship, one-on-one mentorship to improve their ideas and make it better. I realized there are a lot of NGO activity to support the youth in vocational training. We noticed a lot of NGO activity to support the youth. For example, we identified Koika as one of the leading NGOs that was providing skills training for mechanical workers, carpenters, IT skills development within the region. Koforidua ecosystem can be improved significantly if we have a lot more training events for people to come over and learn best practices and how best to fine-tune their products and services being offered. You also have to go through how to register a business properly and how to get their accounting in order so as to have a higher probability of securing funding. There also needs to be a lot more hubs within the Eastern region to support the second cycle and tertiary institutions over there to help students to practice public speaking and product marketing.
Koforidua. The bead market in Ghana is located in Koforidua and is patronized by people from far and near. The bead market is located at the Center for National Culture. The CNT revealed that it serves as a source of income not only for women but men as well. The media is very vibrant but cited disruption in transmission due to power outages and location of their transmitters on the hills of the city. Unemployment was a challenge the media lamented on.
In the Eastern Regional Capital, being Koforidua, we got to know that there were a lot of private media organizations and also the media group of companies that we had seen in Kumasi. What was happening was that one key concern that was expressed by most of the media organizations that we met was the fact that unemployment was a challenge. One of the major challenges there was unemployment. So it was attributed to the fact that people wanted to go to school, like have an education and come back and do white-collar jobs. And the entrepreneurial drive and zeal was not that common in the region. most of the media houses in Koforidua were very, very interested in partnering with us to help youth in the area to develop their entrepreneurial skills and also change their mindset about thinking that in order to work you need to be employed by everyone. In terms of culture, the cultural influence on economic activity, one key thing that we came across was the fact that there was bead production in the region. It was not mainly in Koforidua, but it was in one of the towns around, which was Somanya, Kobo. So in ages past, we got to know that women would usually come there to sell beads, and that is how the Koforidua bead market came about. And every Thursday, there's a market where people come from all walks of life across the country and even outside Ghana to patronize the local beads that was made. We got to know that though women engaged in agricultural activities in surrounding towns, they did not sell their produce in the region, and this was because of the proximity to Accra. So they preferred to come to Accra to sell their produce and their wares instead of selling it in the region, which resulted in high prices of goods generally in Koforidua. So in terms of the cultural mindset, the challenge really had to do with the fact that youth were not forthcoming in engaging in activities, innovative activities that would help them become entrepreneurs and do something on their own. So in Koforidua, we mapped out 13 organizations, 8 being radio, 1 television, 3 cultural institutions, and 1 under creative innovation.